Welcome to the Crypto Sphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Friday, December 3rd at 8:23 p.m. here in sunny California. We've got some massive bearish action on the crypto chart. I showed you this chart a couple of days ago and said that this bearish scenario was a possibility and that we needed to be aware of it. Today we're going to talk about how probable is this looking. Okay, we're going to talk about that. But before we get any further, I want to draw your attention to a resource that I've just finished creating. It's called Cryptogenic's Monthly Digest. I hope to do this every month. I'm definitely going to do it every month for my patrons, but I think probably once a quarter I should release it to the community. I haven't decided exactly, but this first one I'm going to make available to everybody. And basically, I started creating this last night. Bitcoin was 56,000, so the market is not where it was last night. However, I think that the analysis still applies. Okay, I even showed this chart last night as a scenario and talk about what I would do in both cases. And then I also review some of the best buys of the market, in my opinion. You can get this for free. There's a link down below. Click that link and just register, sign up for it, and you will get it immediately. It will come to you. Also, feel free to send it to your family and friends. I wanted to make it accessible even for people who have never bought cryptocurrency before, but also useful for people who have been in the market for quite a while. You can be the judge of whether I succeeded in that or not, but please take that free resource and share it with others. All right, let's dive into this. First of all, taking a look at this bearish scenario. I mean, this is an ascending, narrowing wedge, okay? And basically, the top of this wedge, if we do bounce, we have to break above 70,000 basically to invalidate this. But what validates it is us breaking beneath and closing beneath this line of support here at $51,103. We are still above that line of support, so we've touched this line 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth time we've touched this line, and so it's not guaranteed that we're going to break down beneath that line. The second thing we need to see is the RSI break down beneath this line, okay? So if the RSI has not broken down beneath this line and the price action has not broken down beneath this line, then this is still a scenario. It's not a reality yet. It's still a scenario. Now, going back to my normal Bitcoin chart, I drew these lines of support. I have not changed them. Right now, we're simply resting right above this line of support at $52,043. If we close beneath that, and secondly, looking at the RSI here, we're still above this line of support here at the RSI. So we can touch it. It's best if we don't break beneath it. If we start breaking beneath these lines, then the bearish scenario comes into play. Now, I know we do not like bearish scenarios in the crypto sphere. I want to tell you, I want to kind of help your perspective on this just a little bit. This morning, every morning, you know, I have a journal. I have a bunch of these. I go through these like, I don't know, I go through them quick, and I've probably gone through more than a dozen of those, and I have thicker ones, and I have them everywhere. I go through these a lot. So anyway, this morning, normally what I do in the morning is I just zero in on one thing that I'm thankful for. One moment in the last 24 hours in which I experienced the goodness of God. And I write about that experience of goodness, and I thank God for it. And I allow my heart to just become thankful. It's important for me to do that in the morning because otherwise I wake up in the morning with my mind running 100,000 miles an hour of what I need to do and where I need to go and what I want to accomplish and what I want to build and what I want to produce and what I want to create. And that is a recipe for anxiety and the loss of peace. And so Thanksgiving, it grounds my heart. Keeps me from running wild. So this morning, I was writing down all of these things that I was thankful for. Typically, I zoom in on one, but this morning I just felt like I wanted to list as many of them as I could think of. And I started listing all of these things I was thankful for. And what I noticed is that everything I wrote as an item of thanksgiving had a corresponding list of anxieties associated with it. For instance, one of the things that has been really hectic for me is this whole list of documents that I have to sign and processes that I have to go through and documentation that I have to provide. And it's every day. It just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. But then if you would stop and ask why I have to do all that documentation, oh, it's because we're about to close escrow on a new home. So it's actually a good thing that is creating this hecticness. In other words, it's a good thing that I have all these things to be stressed about, quote unquote, because there's a good thing on the other side of it. And there were a whole bunch of things that I was writing about that were anxiety provoking, but all of them were the results of good things. And I finally stopped and realized, oh, all of these things in my life are privileges that produce stress. But the stress is worth it because the stress is in the service of a good thing. And sometimes in our lives, we tend to look past all of the good things and focus in on the bad things. But if we start by looking past all of the bad things and focusing in on the good things, number one, it orients our life around thankfulness. And then number two, it provides us a foundation for the patience that we need in order to weather the difficulty so that we can enjoy the blessing. Now, how does this apply to the crypto market? I think you know exactly where I'm going. Because being in the crypto market is stressful. Nobody wants this to break down. Well, I mean, there are bears. They want it to break down. But most of us don't want this to break down. Most of us, we want to see the crypto market just explode. We want everything we've bought to 10x, 100x, and 1000x. We all want that, and it's right and good to want that. I mean, if you don't want that, don't buy it. But in the process, the stress, the trial that comes with the decision that you and I both made to enter into this market is we know what this market does. We know that it goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes sideways, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes sideways. But sometimes you need to stop. You know what would be really, really good for each and every one of us to do? If you've been in the crypto market for any time at all, sit down and write down a list of the coins in your portfolio and take note of all of them that are in a profit. And say, I'm this percentage profitable on this one, and this one I have this percentage profit, and this one I've got this percentage profit. Count those blessings, and then focus your mind and heart on those blessings. Say, wow, yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Now, you know, it's interesting. My wife, I told you this so many times before. My wife bought Bitcoin the first time in January of 2018 when it was $17,000. And she watched it all year long go all the way down to $3,300. But you know what? In hindsight, that was just a delay. That's all it is just a delay. And even if we break down here and the market pulls back here, it's nothing more than a delay. Even if we go all the way back to 28,000, that's just a delay. A delay is not the same thing as a denial. Now, delays feel like denial to us. It feels like I've lost everything. I've lost. No, you haven't lost anything until you sell at a loss. If you sell at a loss, you lost. And so what fear does is it causes us to sell the dump instead of selling the pump. We wait for the third or fourth consecutive engulfing bearish candle to sell, not realizing there cannot be an infinite progression of bearish candles. The bullish candles are sure to come. And you know what? I honestly don't believe we're going to break down here. I really don't. Could I be wrong? Of course. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Just my opinion. But I think we're going to bounce. I think we're going to bounce. I think I could even draw these lines a bit more precisely and come down to the bottom of these wicks. Still below the trend, but you know what? We still got 44 hours before this candle closes. And I'm believing that we're going to come back up and close above the trend. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we break down. And the question is, if we're breaking down, let's say if we're breaking down and going down to 28,000, shouldn't we sell a bunch of stuff? Like, shouldn't we come out of the market? The problem is, as soon as I do that, the market turns around and pumps. That's crazy, right? What I prefer to do is just buy the dip. If it comes down here, I'm going to buy it. I mean, if I sold it up here, now that'd have been great. But selling into a dump like this, it's already dumped 25% where it's sitting. I don't sell into a 25% dump. I don't sell the dump. If I didn't catch the top of it, then I just wait through. But trying to sell at the top of every peak, you don't know where the top is. Trying to buy at the bottom, you don't know where the bottom is. It's best to just buy the dip and wait. Buy the dip and wait. There's still plenty of profit to be made in this market. We're not done, folks. This isn't over. Crypto's not going anywhere. But in the meantime, count your blessings. And some of you are new to the crypto market. You haven't made any profits yet. Maybe some of you jumped in right here, and maybe you're like my wife. You bought in January 2018 at the top of the market, and you watched it go down. My wife watched it go down for 10 months and then watched it slowly go up. It took her about a year and a half to become profitable. Maybe it's time just to turn off all the apps and just forget it. But you know what a quicker way to be profitable is? It's just to keep buying the dip. In this last pullback over here, I bought Litecoin. So I had Litecoin at $418 was the top, and then it crashed. It went from $418 to $250. I thought it's at the bottom. I bought it. Guess what? It went down to $200. I said, this has got to be the bottom. I bought it. It went down to $150. I said, this has got to be the bottom. I bought it. It went down to $105. I said, this has got to be the bottom. I bought it. And guess what? That was the bottom. And so that $105 buy is profitable. $150 buy is profitable. The $200 buy was profitable, but I don't think it is right now. This too shall pass, folks. THETA is on sale, folks. THETA token is on sale. $5.72. And you know what's crazy about THETA token? We're still well within this dragon of a bull pennant. And we're still well above support in the RSI. Look at that. We're not even at the trend line yet in the RSI for THETA. It's a gift. Look at this. We're going to outperform Bitcoin by almost 1,200%. Bullish RSI against Bitcoin. So, all is well. And you know what? Even if this happens, all is well. You know what I do? I'm going to sleep in peace every night. I'm going to wake up in joy every morning. And I'm going to do my best to walk in love every day. And that's what I would encourage you to do as well. Good enough. Good enough. So check out this resource here, my monthly digest. Click that link there in the description. And yeah, smash the like button if you feel like it. But above all, make it your aim to sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, and walk in love every day. This is Cryptogenic, signing out.